Hi, VencoreWeather.com meteorologist Paul Dorian here on Monday, April 24th. A coastal storm will bring a soaking rain to the Mid-Atlantic region over the next 48 hours or so, up to a couple of inches of rain possible in some areas along the I-95 corridor between D.C. and New York City by the time early Wednesday morning rolls around. We have kind of a blocking pattern in the upper part of the atmosphere across the western part of the Atlantic Ocean, and that will help to suppress the movement of this coastal storm. Once it gets cranking later today, it'll be a slow push up along the eastern seaboard, and again, the rainfall could last for a 48-hour period off and on during that time up until about Wednesday morning or so. Then we'll get much milder once that coastal storm pulls away, and a strong warm surge of air at the end of the week will push temperatures well up into the 80s in the I-95 corridor. Perhaps even a few areas can touch 90 degrees at the end of the week or the beginning of the weekend here in the northeastern U.S. At the same time, very cold air will spill down into the western U.S. The interior part of the western U.S. will be well below normal for this time of the year by the end of the week, and places like Denver could actually get some significant accumulating snow at the end of the week. Well, this is the 500 millibar height anomaly pattern for right now. This is the forecast map from last night's 060 GFS model run for this morning, and we'll just walk through this over the next few days and point out a couple of things. First of all, very impressive upper level low here in the southeastern U.S. associated with this developing coastal storm. Notice the oranges here off the northeast U.S. coastline. This is high pressure in the upper part of the atmosphere, and I said a couple of minutes ago that this is really a blocking pattern, and it will slow the movement of what will become a strong nor'easter over the next 12 to 24 hours or so. Because of this blocking in the western Atlantic, this low pressure area will be slow to move up the coast, hence a long time period, about 48 hours from about now till early Wednesday. It could be on and off rain in D.C., Philadelphia, New York City, and again, some areas could get up to a couple of inches of rain by the time midday Wednesday rolls around. Let's just move forward here in 6-hour increments, and we'll go right into the weekend when a real warm surge will bring very warm air into the I-95 corridor. First of all, we're slowly working through the day, now into the middle of the night. This upper level low translates to the mid-Atlantic coastline or the Carolina coastline. Strong ridging in the upper part of the atmosphere across the northeast U.S. and the western Atlantic will prevent any fast movement for this low pressure area. This is now Tuesday morning, and it just slowly pulls up the coast until it finally weakens to the point where ridging takes over. This is now Wednesday afternoon, and once this low pulls away during the midday hours on Wednesday, it'll become much milder around here Wednesday afternoon, and especially by Thursday and Friday. A warm surge of air pushes very warm air for this time of the year. Notice here now, this is Thursday afternoon. A little semblance of that upper level low now well off the mid-Atlantic coastline. Lots of ridging here across the northeast U.S. Anomalously strong high pressure for this time of the year by Thursday. Notice out in the western U.S. and the central U.S. a deep upper level trough. Cold air plunging into the western part of the nation. Warm air surging into the northeast by Thursday time frame. And this spells trouble for the Midwest and parts of the Central Plains. Could be a severe weather outbreak in between these two extreme air masses that sets up for the middle and latter part of the week. Very warm air in the northeast U.S. by the end of the week, and very cold air in the interior U.S. The area in between the Midwest and the Central Plains could certainly see severe weather outbreak Wednesday, Thursday time frame. Let's keep moving forward here. Now we are Friday morning, well up in the 80s by this time in the northeastern U.S. Deep upper level trough, could be upper level low in the interior west, could be snowing at places like Denver and Boulder by this time, and then that warm air sits around here for a couple of days. Thursday, Friday, Saturday look very warm here in the Mid-Atlantic region. Deep upper level low just dives down into the southwestern U.S. Just kind of want to move forward now. This is now looking far ahead to Sunday, but just want to go even farther to show how this upper level low finally pushes some colder air into the eastern U.S. the early part of next week as we begin the month of May. Here we are by Monday night, Tuesday of next week. Notice upper level low spreads all the way into the eastern U.S. by the early or middle part of next week. So we have a strong warm surge at the end of this week. Could bring very warm conditions to the Mid-Atlantic region Thursday, Friday, Saturday, perhaps even Sunday. But there will be a cool down during the early or middle part of next week. Well, let's now walk through the surface forecast maps from the 6Z's GFS model run. All these maps, by the way, from tropicaltidbits.com. We'll walk through in 6-hour increments. Again, this is for early today. High pressures situated off the northeast East U.S. coastline, part of that blocking pattern in the western Atlantic. Let's push forward now. Excuse me. Low pressure forms by this evening off the South Carolina coastline. There could be spotty rain during the next several hours in D.C., Philadelphia, but the steadiest, heaviest stuff waits till the end of the day, and especially tonight and on Tuesday. Let's keep moving forward. And this low really has nowhere to go because of that blocking pattern in the upper part of the atmosphere over the northeast U.S., over the western Atlantic, just off the northeast U.S. coastline. This is now tomorrow afternoon. Steady rain, a strong fetch of air off the ocean, pulls in some Atlantic moisture. Again, this will be a soaking rainfall for D.C., Philadelphia, New York City. Winds will be quite strong out of the east. It'll be quite a cool rain event as well. The ocean temperature still very chilly this time of the year. And here we go by late tomorrow night, early Wednesday. Low starting to weaken a little bit as it pulls to the northeast U.S. now here by Wednesday morning. Pretty much all the precipitation has ended in the I-95 corridor. There certainly can be some lingering shower activity early in the day on Wednesday. And then by Wednesday afternoon, once that low finally relinquishes its control over us here in the northeast U.S., conditions will become much milder Wednesday afternoon. But the real warm surge comes by Thursday and Friday and Saturday. There will be a frontal system crossing through the Midwest on Thursday that, again, could spell some trouble in terms of potential severe weather out in the Midwest. Excuse me. It tends to weaken as it pushes into the eastern U.S. This is now Thursday night. Very warm conditions, southerly flow in the eastern U.S. come Thursday afternoon. Let's keep moving forward. Notice that frontal system basically dissipates. There can be a shower or thunderstorm associated with that dying frontal system Thursday night or Friday here in the Mid-Atlantic region, but it pretty much falls apart, and we stay very warm here going into the weekend. And again, well up in the 80s, perhaps Thursday, but definitely Friday and Saturday. Maybe even a few areas can see a 90-degree reading at the end of the week or early part of the weekend. And finally, this is now by Sunday morning. A frontal system could pull some moisture into the Mid-Atlantic region by the end of the weekend, and that'll begin the trend to cool down, certainly by the early to middle part of next week. We'll get cooler again in the northeast U.S. Notice here the blues showing up in places like Colorado and New Mexico. Some snow, and there could be significant snow at the end of the week, the weekend, in the interior western U.S. across some of the central Rockies. So a coastal storm for the northeastern U.S. over the next 48 hours or so, and then a strong surge of warm air at the end of the week going into the weekend, well up in the 80s by the end of the week and the beginning part of the weekend. But a couple of inches of rain possible from right around now until early Wednesday in D.C., Philadelphia, and New York City. That's it for now. For VencoreWeather.com, I'm meteorologist Paul Dorian.